We're going to work on creating a sheet metal part in Fusion, and so you can see the print here. This is the part that we're going to be working to create. So you can go ahead and open Fusion, create a new design, and then we're going to go under the sheet metal tab at the top. We're going to use that to create our sheet metal part. So the first step that we're going to do is go ahead and create a sketch. We're going to choose our sketch plane to work from, and we're going to use the line tool to create the contour for the part that we're going to make. So this first horizontal line that we're going to make is going to be 5.91 inches. From there, we're going to draw a line up. From the origin, vertically, it's going to be 1.18 inches, and then from the other side, we're going to create a line that goes up 2.36 inches. From there, you can go ahead and finish the sketch. I'm going to take it to a home view so we can see it, and then we're going to use the flange tool to create the contour for the sheet metal part. So I'll go ahead and click all of those lines, and then I can click and notice how it will extrude with that flange tool just like we want. And so we're going to enter a distance of 2.36 for that, and I'm going to make mine negative so it goes in the other direction. Once you have that done, you can go ahead and select OK. So from this point, we've created this overall shape, and we've created this and this edge. We're going to go ahead and add the radius here and the holes to the part. And so I'll go back into Fusion here. I'm going to click to use a fillet tool, and I'm going to click on these edges for the fillet tool, and I'll go ahead and put in the radius of 1.18 inches, and that will give you the radius you need for that round. Now we'll work on adding the hole here into that side of our sheet metal part. So I'll go ahead and click to create a new sketch on the surface. I'm going to go ahead and grab the point tool, and we're going to I'm going to hit escape, and I'm just going to project the geometry. So I'll hit P to project the geometry, and I'm going to project that arc out, and then that will give us the center point then for our hole. So I'll go ahead and click to place that center point. From there, I'm going to create a circle, a construction circle for the other holes to go about the axis on from there. On that construction circle, so it's going to be 1.5 inches diameter. From here, I'm going to go ahead and create some other construction geometry. So I'm going to get the line tool. Again, I'm going to have a construction line, and I'm going to make a line through the middle of this circle. Then I'm going to make a line up to a point on here, and I'm going to dimension those two lines and make them 45 degrees apart. I'm going to make sure this line is horizontal by clicking the horizontal constraint, which it is, and then I'm going to add a point to the construction circle where the line intersects it. From there, I'm going to go ahead and finish my sketch. I can then use the hole tool to create the hole that goes through the object. The hole is going to have a diameter of 790,000, so 0.79, and the distance is going to be through all. Notice when I do that, it takes the hole clear through the part, which is what we want. So once I have that done, I can go ahead and click OK. We're going to continue to use that sketch, so I will go ahead and turn that sketch 2 back on. Again, I'll come down here to create, get my hole tool, click on the point that I want to create that hole, and then I am going to enter a diameter of 0.22 for that hole. So right there, and then distance again, we're going to go through all, and I'll go ahead and click OK. Now we're going to use our circular pattern tool to pattern that hole around. So under my under my feature tools, I can come under here under pattern, click circular. Under the type, I'm going to click features. I'm going to select the object that I want to pattern, which is the hole. Then I'll select the axis I want to pattern around. I can select that construction circle and then enter a quantity of 4. When I do that, I can go ahead and click OK, and those holes will pattern around, and notice we get the 2 on the other side because the hole is going through all. From here, I'm going to go ahead and turn off the sketch number 2, so we're finished with that. And next I'm going to add these 2 little circular cutouts. So inside of Fusion, I'm going to create a sketch on this surface of my part. I'm going to grab my circle tool and I'm going to find the triangle that shows me I'm in the center of the part. And I'll go ahead and click to make that circle. And in this case, I'm going to make it have a diameter of 195 thousandths, and we're going to multiply that by 2. So that'll give us our hole. Do the same thing on the other side. 195 times 2. The next step will be to create the 2 slots in our face. So under create, I'm going to go down and I'm going to use the slot tool for that. I'm going to use a center to center slot. So I'm going to find the center of this part. I'll go out into the part, click my dimension. My slot center to center is 1.5 inches. So I'll go ahead and click enter for that. And then the slot diameter is 1/2 inch. So I'll put that number in and I can go ahead and click to create the slot. Then we need to locate the slot, so I will make that slot be my dimension tool. From the outside edge of this to the center first hole, or the first center point on our slot, is going to be 788 thousandths. From center to center on our slot, again, it's going to be 1.5 inches. And then in the depth dimension, our slot is going to be 1.18. And we put it in the center, so it already was that. From here, we can do the same thing on the other side. So I will again go down, get my slot tool, center to center slot. I'm going to line it up with the other slot. Type in 1.5, and then my diameter for the slot is 1/2 inch. And then I can go ahead and add those dimensions in to dimension the slot. Get the slot in the center, the depth dimension. Alright, and so there we have our slots fully constrained, so I'll go ahead and finish that sketch. Go back to a home view. In this case, I'm just going to use the extrude feature, and I am going to cut out those features, and our distance is going to be through all. Once I have that done, I'll go ahead and click OK. From here, we'll go ahead and create the flanges that come off the side of the part. So those are here. So to do that, I'll go ahead and use a flange tool. I'll click on the flange. I'll give it a distance of 1.18, and on the angle I'm going to type in -45 degrees so that the flange comes down just like we want. So once you have that, you can go ahead and click OK. From here, I'll make another flange come out of that, and so I'll click to do that, and we're going to again do that at 45 degrees so it's flat, and then I'm going to type in a dimension of a height of 1.128 and an angle of 45 degrees. So once I have that done, I will go ahead and click OK to finish it. We will then add the slot on that face that we just created on the flange, and so I'll do the same tools that I used before. So I'll come in, create a center point slot, .5 is our distance between the slot, and the slot diameter is 0.5. Then I can go ahead and locate the slot with my dimension tool. ½ inch that way. And I'll project this geometry so I can use that to dimension the next part of this. And I'll dimension that at 0.73. We have our slot created. So once that's done and it's placed correctly, I'll go ahead and use the extrude tool, and I will cut through all of the object. Last thing we're going to do is round off some corners, so I will use my fillet tool to round off these edges. So I'm going to put in a ½ inch edge on those. Actually, it's a 1/4 inch edge, so I'll go ahead and make that a 1/4 inch and click OK. From here, I'm going to mirror this feature over to the other side, so I'll go ahead and click that I want a construction plane, and I'm going to do a mid plane. So I'm going to zoom in and I'll click on this surface, go to the other side of the part, click on this surface. That's going to be my mirror plane that I want to mirror from. I'll then come under my tools, click the mirror tool. I'm going to select the features that I want to mirror, so that's this feature and this feature. I'll select the mirror plane that we just created, and it will mirror the parts over to the other side. Once you have that done, you can go ahead and add in the features for those. We can mirror those features over. So again, I'll do the mirror tool again. This time I'll select the feature that I want to mirror, select the mirror plane. The feature will come over, one more mirror, select both rounds, select my mirror plane, and the rounds will come over. So once you have that completed, you have your sheet metal part done. You can turn off your construction geometry. One nice thing about sheet metal parts is you can create flat patterns from them. So if I click the tool here to create a flat pattern, I then can select my stationary face and click OK, and it will unbend the part for you. You can finish the flat pattern, and then if you ever need it again, you can. It's an option on your browser. Just click to see the flat pattern, and it will come up again. And so that's the basics of sheet metal parts in Fusion.